Hello and welcome to episode number 14 of Vashnomics. I am Ashok. In the last episode number 13, I promised to share with you an ingredient to the secret sauce for every pizza of life. In the meantime, I received some messages saying that this sauce should also cater to for those at the receiving end. I agree with them. So here I am. Some of us are the chefs kneading the dough, adding the toppings and baking ideas to perfection. And others? Well, we are biting into that slice, wondering how we agreed to try pineapple on pizza. Exactly. This killer ingredient is the art and science of persuasion, and when to duck and how to win, kind of. For those who are the persuaders, master the sauce. People love a good story. If your pitch is duller than plain cheese pizza, you don't expect anyone to take a bite. You know what? I once convinced my boss to greenlight a new project by comparing it to something like assembling the Avengers. A little drama, a little humor, and boom! We were off to the races. But emboldened, I tried this trick to persuade my wife to try sushi for the first time. I gave her the full pitch: health benefits, exotic experience, celebrity endorsements, blah blah blah. She looked at me and sternly said, "Unless sushi can cook itself and taste like biryani, I am not interested." Well, as a punishment, I got curd rice with pickle for lunch that day. So the moral of the story is even the best persuasion tactics can't beat personal preferences. Now, persuading a 25-year-old tech whiz is not the same as convincing a 35-year-old manager with or without a kid. The first one wants innovation and excitement. The second one just wants the meeting to end before hitting the gym or spending time with his bachelor friends or something like that. Now, for those who are always getting persuaded, you should spot the sauce. Beware of the Jedi mind tricks, guys. Ever agreed to something and later thought, wait, how did that happen? That was a persuasion at work. Watch out for phrases like, everyone is doing it, or trust me, this is for your own good, etc., etc. These are the psychological equivalent of free pistachio flavored breadsticks. Tempting, but you will pay for it later. There is someone cruel out there has listed more than 15 to 20 tricks of persuasion. And one of them is throwing some threats around or using swear words. You know those members of the stand-up comedian tribe who constantly use those swear words, right? Why do they use? Ever wondered? Only to make you glued to your seats, clap to whatever they are saying, scream, woo-woo, and agree. If you don't, then they drag you into their pit. Sometimes the best response to a persuasive pitch one hears is, let me sleep on it. Meaning, I need to Google this, or let us finalize the earlier report, or after I return from leave, if not counter-arguing. I'm not finding that document. Can you tell? Send it, or let me figure that out. That too much after the deadline is over. All this means nothing but avoidance. And then to such responses, I ended up doing that task. What is the common ground then? Whether you are the chef or the diner, the goal is the same. a pizza everyone enjoys, a common goal and splitting the bonus. Don't participate, then that no increment and no bonus. I will never forget the time when a junior colleague convinced me and the entire office to switch to standing desk. His speech was flawless, healthier spines, better posture, and the promise of six-pack abs leading to improved productivity at work. 6 months later, all we had was sore legs and a permanent craving for a chair. But hey, that's persuasion. Sometimes you win the argument, and sometimes you end up standing at your desk, regretting your life choices. So, whether you are persuading or being persuaded, remember this: it's all about the balance. The persuader needs to find talent and skills of team members, align the ideas of the team with the organization goals, and participate in the exercise. And those who are persuaded, well, you need to keep your guard. Contribute to the discussion, use a proper mix of your talents, strengths, and skills, and find better ways of doing that task. Ultimately, whether you like it or not, the joy of success is working in the team together and eventually leading it. But if you are not at all interested in partaking the pizza, maybe then invest in a good pair of noise cancelling headphones for those endless pitches and end up not participating in a challenging adventure and the growth. All jokes aside, persuasion isn't about tricking people. It is about alignment. It is about understanding what makes people tick and showing them how your ideas fit into their goals. Whether you are negotiating a deal, leading a team, or convincing your spouse to try sushi, it is all about finding that sweet spot of mutual benefit. By the way, the command and control keys work best only for Mac. They no longer work with the generation Y or Z. Discussions over exotic cold coffees and equally exotic ciders work well with them, provided it works. Or have a quick morning meeting every day to set up the agenda for the day, expectations and timelines with or without a tea or coffee. For those ready to master the art of persuasion, I would just say what I learned is that the world appears different to different men as they look at it. To one it may be dull and superficial, but to another it is rich, interesting and challenging. So it all depends on how you craft your story, use your storytelling skills and achieve. Both should strive to change the response from why I should do it to what should I do. There you win together. And for my dear victims of persuasion, if you still do not feel convinced, don't worry. I have got you covered. There is one life-changing guide to dodging work with a style. But the risk is all yours. Let us keep the conversation going. Let me see how many of you are interested in it. Drop in your comments. And one last thing. Practice this sauce with caution with your spouse. Whether you are persuading or being persuaded, remember, the rules of influence don't always apply in the sacred territory of the living room. Trust me, it's a battlefield you don't want to underestimate. But one thing you should never forget is to like and comment on this episode and share it with your like-minded colleagues, and others. Thank you and take care, and wish you all a very happy and joyous new year. Bye.